Hi friends, it's Teenuja from the Veganlovlie channel. Today I am making a recipe with jicama. So this was actually a request from one of our viewers, Yamaris Cruz, who asked for a recipe with jicama. So I wasn't sure I was even going to find jicama in Montreal, but I happened to see some in Loblaws the other day, so I bought a few. So this is actually what it looks like if you're not familiar with jicama. It's a root vegetable, and you can eat it raw or cooked. So today we're making a chop suey recipe with this root vegetable. In Mauritius we actually have this, but it's smaller, in a smaller version, and it's known as the Chinese yam, or we locally call it patate chinois. So the most common way that we eat the jicama in Mauritius is actually just raw, with just sprinkled with some salt and sometimes some chili paste. And we also like to pickle it along with other fruits. So it actually tastes something like a water chestnut. It has a mild sweet taste, and it's very crunchy. So I will be featuring another recipe for the pickled jicama in one of our upcoming videos. But for today we are using it in a cooked recipe, which is the Mauritian chop suey. So let's get started. Start by rehydrating the shiitake mushrooms. I prefer to simmer them in some water on medium temperature for about 10 minutes, as this makes them softer. Once soft, drain the liquid and set aside. While the shiitake are simmering, prepare the other ingredients. In this recipe, I am only using half of one jicama, as the jicamas that I got are fairly large. Jicama are easy to prepare. They can be peeled just like you would peel a potato. In fact, they are even easier. Lift a small section of the skin and pull the skin off. It should come off clean and easily. Once peeled, you can cut it into small pieces or however you like. I cut mine into rectangular slices of about 5 millimeters or 1/4 of an inch thick and 2 inches in length. Prepare and cut the rest of the vegetables and fruit, the carrots, broccoli, snow peas, shiitake mushrooms, and the pineapple. By the way, we have a video where we've demonstrated how we peel a pineapple with minimum wastage. So you may want to check it out. I'll leave the link in the description box. I have kept this recipe completely oil-free, as I think chop suey is so packed full of flavor that the oil is not even required. But feel free to use a little oil when sautéing the vegetables if you wish. Start to sauté the vegetables. In a wok on medium-high heat, add the minced ginger. Allow to heat for 1 minute until the ginger starts to sizzle. Then add in the shiitake mushrooms. Stir and sauté for about 2 minutes. Add a little water or vegetable broth if required. Add in the carrots and cook while stirring occasionally for another 3 minutes. add a little water or vegetable broth as required to prevent the vegetables from sticking to the pan. Next, add the broccoli followed by the jicama. Toss and continue to steam fry for another 2 minutes. Add the black beans and cook for another minute. Then turn off the heat, remove the vegetables from the pan and set them aside. We are only partly cooking the vegetables at this stage, as they will cook further later on in the sauce. Now let's make the sauce. In the same wok, with the heat still turned off, add the ketchup, soy sauce, rice vinegar, maple syrup or sugar, and the chili flakes. In a small measuring jug, mix the potato starch with 1 cup of water or vegetable broth. Stir well with a fork to completely dilute the starch into the water. Then add this solution into the wok. Now turn on the heat to a medium-high temperature and allow the mixture to heat up. Once it starts to thicken, you can lower the heat and continue to stir until it loses the milkiness and becomes translucent. You will need to continuously stir and add a little water if needed as the mixture thickens. Add the pineapple pieces to the sauce and let them simmer while stirring for about 2 minutes. At this point, you can taste the sauce and adjust the seasonings like pepper, salt, or more soy sauce. Now add the snow peas to the sauce followed by the pre-cooked vegetables and beans. Add a little water or vegetable broth to add more sauce. Then you can also add more of the potato starch solution, like 1 more tablespoon diluted in some water, to thicken the sauce to the desired consistency. Lastly, add the bok choy and the bean sprouts. These don't need a lot of cooking and you can turn off the heat and allow them to wilt with the heat of the sauce itself. Adjust the salt if you need to. And the chop suey is now ready. You can serve it with noodles or rice. So the jicama will stay crunchy even after cooking, and I hope you've enjoyed this chop suey recipe and you'll give it a try. If you can find jicama close to where you live, I do recommend you try it. And if you've liked this recipe, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe if you haven't already. So I'll see you soon for more recipes. Bye!